Welcome back, adventurers and friends, to the Adventure Inwards Let's Talk series. To those who are here for the first time, hello! Thank you for joining us. Just a reminder to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell if you would like to know when I post up new videos. Today, we will be talking about the holiday season and all that it brings. So get comfy, open your heart, open your mind, and let's get into this. The holiday season is upon us, and getting the gifts of love, laughter, anxiety, stress, and those we have to spend time around that we just dread. We look forward to the holidays, yet we find it filled with situations and feelings we just do not want to have to deal with. Why can't it be like the Hallmark Christmas movies, where we see the warmth and coziness, the love and laughter, the snowfalls, and the gatherings of pure joy where everyone gets along? Where is that for us? We may not be able to duplicate that, but we sure can do things to make the holiday season more bearable. So let's talk about it and break it down some. The whirlwind of gift-giving holidays, marketing blitzes, holiday parties, and activities galore that begin right after Halloween, builds to Thanksgiving, and continues gaining momentum through the end of the year. While the season is meant to bring feelings of love and cheer, it's also the harbinger of holiday stress for many. According to some polls conducted by several organizations, did you know that more than 80% of us find the holiday season to be, quote unquote, somewhat or very stressful? That ranks navigating the holidays right up there with asking for a raise. What is it that has us spinning ourselves in circles? Well, first of all, doing too much. All things in moderation, as the saying goes. The problem with the holiday season is that we often experience too much of a good thing. While stress itself is necessary for our survival and zest for life, researchers call this positive type of stress eustress, which means moderate or normal psychological stress. I had to look that one up. Too much stress has a negative impact on our life and on our health, both mental and physical. Too many activities, even if they are the fun activities, can culminate in too much holiday stress and actually leave us feeling frazzled rather than fulfilled. Another thing, eating, drinking, and spending too much money. An overabundance of parties and gift-giving occasions lead many people to eat, drink, and be merry, often to excess. The temptation to overindulge in spending, rich desserts, or alcohol can cause many people the lasting stress of dealing with the consequences, such as debt, weight gain, and memories of those embarrassing behaviors. We can linger long after the season is over with having these over our shoulder. In these more difficult financial times many of us are living in, finding affordable gifts can be stressful in itself. And carrying holiday debt is a tradition that too many people unwittingly bring on themselves. And the stress that comes with it can last for months. Another thing, too much togetherness. The holidays are a time when extended families and loved ones tend to get together. While this can be a wonderful thing, even the most close-knit families can overdose on togetherness, making it hard for family members to maintain a healthy balance between bonding and alone time. Many families also have roles that each member falls into that have more to do with who individuals used to be rather than who they are today, which can sometimes bring more dread than love to these gatherings. Believe it or not enough togetherness. This is another issue. This can be a tough time for many people, especially those who have lost loved ones, as it reminds them of their loneliness. As the world seems to be gathering with family, those who rely more on friends for support can feel deserted and alone. Reach out to them if you know anyone, because it is an awful feeling and it is a difficult time to get through. Next, seasonal affective disorder and depression. Now, I have a specific video that covers this, but because it is so important, I wanted to put this in on this video. An often unrecognized problem that comes with the holiday season. It is actually a byproduct of the seasons changing from fall to winter. As daylight diminishes and the weather causes many of us spend more time indoors, many people are affected by some degree by a type of depression known as seasonal affective disorder, also known as seasonal depression. It is a subtle but very real condition that can cast a cloud over the whole season and be a source of stress and unhappiness during a time that people expect to feel just the opposite. For suggestions on how to deal with this, go to my video that deals with the seasonal affective disorder. There's a specific one and it gives you some great tools on how to deal with it. Onward. Next, minimizing holiday stress. The great thing about holiday stress is that it's predictable. Unlike many other types of negative stress we encounter in life, we know when holiday stress will begin and usually when it will end. And we can make plans to reduce the amount of stress we experience and the negative impact it has on us. Here are some suggestions you can try to minimize holiday stress before it even begins, so that it remains at a positive, manageable level rather than an overwhelming one. So let's break it down even further. First, set your priorities. Before you get overwhelmed by too many activities, it's important to decide what traditions offer the most positive impact and eliminate unnecessary activities. For example, if you usually become overwhelmed by a flurry of baking, caroling, shopping, sending cards, visiting relatives, and other activities that leave you exhausted by January, you may want to examine your priorities. Pick a few favorite activities and really enjoy them while skipping the rest. You can always switch them around each year. Next, take shortcuts. If you can't fathom the idea of skipping out on sending cards, baking, seeing people, and doing all the stuff that usually runs you ragged, and I'm one of those people, you may do better including all of these activities in your schedule, but on a smaller scale. So, for example, when you send cards, send them, but only to those with whom you maintain regular communication with. Or don't include a personal note or letter in each one. Find a way to simplify. The same goes for baking. Will anyone be enraged if you only bake 2 to 3 favorite cookies rather than the abundant types of selection you usually make? What if you actually bought some of the baked goods to supplement what you traditionally do? If you find ways to cut corners or tone down the activities that are important to you and your family, you may enjoy them much more. Next, be smart with holiday eating. During the holidays, we may want to look and feel great, especially if we're around people we don't see often. We know that this is how we'll be remembered. But there is so much temptation in the form of delicious foods and decadent desserts and a break from our regular routines, plus the addition of emotional stress, can all add up to overeating, emotional eating, and other forms of unhealthy eating. This year, plan ahead by being aware of your triggers. Do what you can to have some healthy foods at hand for each meal. Be aware of your intake and practice mindful eating. Another thing you can do with that too is drink lots of water. Next, change your expectations for gatherings. This is so important and so big. Expectations is, such an evil thing. So with the family and friends, it's important to be aware of your limitations. Think back to previous years and try to pinpoint how much togetherness you and your family can take before feeling negative stress. Emotions overflowing, tempers flying, biscuits going across the table at dinner time, mashed potatoes on the floor. Know your limits. Can you limit the number of parties you attend or throw, or the time you spend at each one? Can you limit your time with family to a smaller time frame that will still feel special and joyous, but without draining you? When dealing with difficult relatives, it's okay to set limits on what you are and are not willing to do, including foregoing your visits or limiting them to every other year. There's nothing wrong with that. For those who experience loneliness during the holidays, consider inviting a group of friends to your home. If virtually everyone you know is with family during the holidays, you might consider volunteering to help those less fortunate than yourself. Many people report these experiences to be extremely fulfilling, and focus will be on what you have rather than what you lack, and you might create some new friendships. Next, set a schedule. Putting your plans on paper can show you, in black and white, how realistic they are. If you find a time management planner and fill in the hours with your scheduled activities, being realistic and including driving time and downtime, you will be able to see if you're trying to pack in too much. Start with your highest priorities, so you will be able to eliminate the less important activities. Be sure to schedule in some time to take a walk in nature each day if at all possible. Exercise and exposure to daylight can be drastically reduced or even eliminated the symptoms of SAD, which is the seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression. If climate or other factors prohibit this, try to find some time to sit by a window and look out. Several minutes of exposure to natural light, even through a window pane, can help. The big thing about the seasonal affective disorder and the seasonal depression that is scientifically being found is the lack of vitamin D. Because days are shorter, there's not as much natural sunlight that you can be exposed to. That's causing your limit of vitamin D, which is what creates some of the healthy hormones for you to have to keep you healthy. So that's very vital. Also, you again, go back to that video I have. It really will help. Next, big one, breathe. Just breathe. This sounds like a no-brainer. But sometimes we forget to take deep breaths and really give our bodies the oxygen we need. It's great if you can take 10 minutes by yourself to do a breathing meditation. Now, with the breathing meditations, you can find these online as well. And also, if you go to my website or even to the YouTube, you will find meditations that I have on there that will help you. Look under the mindfulness meditations. You might find some that will help you that take 5-10 minutes to do. But merely stopping to take a few deep cleansing breaths can really reduce your level of negative stress in a matter of minutes. If you visualize that you are breathing in serenity and breathing out stress, you will find the positive effects of this exercise to be even more pronounced. It's a big help, and you can do it anywhere at any time. The holidays are often a time when we focus on others by sending cards, buying gifts, cooking food, hosting guests. But during high stress times, it is so important, more so than ever, to find time for yourself. If you know that the holidays are going to be stressful, plan accordingly and make sure you are scheduling some me time and carving out time for self-care. That's very important. You can enjoy the holidays. Just go with it. Do the best that you can. No expectations. Don't put yourself in uncomfortable positions. And let everyone know you love them, but you also need time for yourself. Remember to be kind to yourself, give yourself grace, and always, always love yourself. Thanks for joining me.